Hello, it's Michelle, and welcome to Michelle's Magical Mondays. And there really is no more magical day than one's birthday. So today is my birthday, and it has been absolutely fantastic. I have so much to share with you guys tonight, and the first thing I want to do is I want to make a big fat shout out and thank you to a few people. The first one would be my mom. So Kathy, I love you. You've been the best mom anybody could ever have. So Kathy Chambers is the bomb. And so not only is this my birthday, but it's the day she spent bringing me into the world. So I want to honor her for the first couple seconds. So thank you, Mom, for being the best mom and being an inspiration. And so I dedicate today to you because you taught me, and this is my favorite quote ever, which is, my favorite flower is the one in bloom. So today, this is my favorite flower, a purple rose that my dear friends, the Manners, has sent me as an early birthday present. So I just want to say that thank you to them as well for being my extended family here in Florida when my biological family is so far away. So I also have some really big news, but I want to wait till a few more people get on. So we're going to talk about the contest that we've been running. And the contest is for those people who share this video. You'll be eligible for next week's drawing. And this week we pulled out, I had a young lady do my drawing, and she pulled out Alice Archer. So Alice, go ahead and get a hold of me this week on private message, and we will get you a free session with me. And if anybody else wants to get into the contest for having an opportunity to have a session with me, just share this video or go, and if you have never liked my business page, that also gets you into the contest. So go ahead and either like my business page or share this video, and you could be eligible. But I'm looking forward. I've never met you, Alice, so I'm really excited to get a chance to talk to you. I know that you've been following me for quite some time, so this will be pretty awesome. So hi, Wendy, happy birthday. Hi, Camille. Oh, and Janine. So big, humongous shout out to Janine, who has been working night and day on my special project. So we'll give it a few more minutes and we'll talk about my special project. But I just want to thank her for everything she's been doing to make some of the stuff that's coming up possible. So we'll start with the card of the day. And there's a lot of really magical energy, not just for myself, but for everyone else. Now, the day has some challenging aspects sometimes. A lot of people have had, a tough time with Mercury retrograde and a couple other planets in retrograde, but it is a magical time. This card is from the Brian Froud Oracle deck, and it means synchronicity is in the air. It's occurring. And so we want to start thinking about, even though something may go wrong, what is it trying to tell you? Maybe it's a perceived wrong instead of a real wrong. So when we're thinking about it in the something happens and all of a sudden we're turned right when we're supposed to go left, but the scenic journey gets us where we're actually going right on time. And maybe you found out there was a really cool store over there, or you ran into your soulmate or your old best friend at the stoplight and send them a wave. So it doesn't matter what, just understand that even if it feels like it's challenging, we're looking at what is coming up as an opportunity for what we need to address, what we need to change. Even some of the things that are happening, we might not even understand why it's happening, but there is the universe is really kind of working toward where we're going. So pretty wonderful stuff with the universe right now. The next couple of weeks are really about getting in gear, getting it done. And so we talked a couple of weeks about showing up. This is the action principle time frame where we're moving forward right now. If it feels like you're challenged in moving forward, look at why. I think this is a time a great deal of self-reflection needs to be in order right now. And it's really important for us to see who it is that we're challenged by. Venus has finally come out of retrograde, and so now we're dealing with our relationship issues and getting really clear boundaries. So today's book of the week is actually by Doreen Virtue, and we are going with a really amazing book called Assertiveness for Earth Angels. So some of you, and you know this has been a common topic, so one of our topics for today is talking about asking for what you need. Not just creating boundaries, because we've talked about creating boundaries before, but actually asking for what you need. And sometimes people are really ready to show up in your life, but they don't know what you need. So I was having a moment earlier this week, and I think it happens to most of us right before our birthday, where we get into reflection and we go over, where are we in our lives and what we need to accomplish, or a lot of times we're looking at what we haven't accomplished. Now, I'm kind of in a different place because I'm pretty excited about what I've accomplished this year. But I've noticed that in past birthdays and other people's birthdays that sometimes we have to go into what do we need to forgive. I call this the shoulda, coulda, woulda formula, where we're like, well, I should have done this, or I could have done that, and I'm really mad at myself for this. So first off, forgive yourself when you're coming up against the shoulda, woulda, couldas. But also reflect on what you need. And so this is where I come into play about my life this week. I've been going through a lot of stuff this week because we've been getting ready to launch my website, which is today, by the way. So if you're done with this video, the big news of the day is that my website is in its soft launch stage, which means the new website is up. It's no longer dark, and you're able to go out and book sessions with me online. You're going to be able to watch videos of the Theta Healing classes that I teach, and you'll be able to get a little better understanding of what I do, little 5-minute videos on the website. And then you're going to be able to click right there to see the pricing and even to schedule classes online. Now, there's still a whole lot more to do, so we've got some more schedule stuff to put up. We've got other things that we couldn't even do until it went online, which was at like 5 o'clock today. And so the biggest shout out is for Howard, who is the most amazing web designer I could have asked for. He has had to put up with me because I'm very specific. I know exactly what I want, and I won't let anything less. In fact, there's a lot of things that are still coming that he has to do. So big shout out and thank you, and super big heart loves to Howard, who, created this absolutely fun and fabulous website and new business cards and new product launch stuff. So thank you. But what happened in the middle of this is maybe I was a little bit tired and maybe I was a little bit cranky. And one of the things that happened is another friend of mine gave me a lymphatic massage treatment for my birthday, which was 5 days of treatments every single day to get rid of the lymphatic stuff, because some of you know I've had ear infections. So it got rid of all the swelling and all the puffiness. And then another friend of mine is doing some ear candling. And, I've just had all this stuff to make myself get really healthy. And I've been choosing better food. And so, of course, I'm craving sugar. I want sugar. And I'm giving myself, whole foods instead of sugar. And I'm wanting to, do some stress eating. And I can't do that. So I reached out to some of my friends, because it's a challenging time, because it's a lot of really exciting things going on at work, but still challenging. And then on top of that, I'm trying to improve my health every day, do yoga stretches and these different treatments. So I was feeling a little low. And so I actually reached out and I was like, I need support. I'm not feeling it right now. I'm feeling, And so I've reached out to different people and people have given me energetic healing. People have given me flowers. And I probably had one of the best birthdays of my entire life, because I did reach out. And even when I wasn't reaching out, the other people in my life has totally shown up for me. So we talked last week about me realigning with the people that were suited for me. So when we're doing this requires a very instrumental ability to ask for what you need. And so first you have to reflect on what you do need. Second, we have to get into the boundaries of actually saying no, actually saying, this isn't good for me, this is, and being willing to tell someone no. A big wording I would use for that is choosing for yourself. And in this case, choosing joy, choosing the things that bring you happiness. And another thing that you have to do, though, is when something's going wrong, you have to actually ask for help. And in this case, it wasn't going wrong. I just needed help. I needed people to help me through this really busy, intense time. So I just want to say people showed up. So Lisa, Tony, Camille, just so many people I can't even name, who, Kenna, Maria, Scott, all you people that have been here over and over for me, somebody who's not on Facebook, Liz, all of you have just made my life so enriched. And then there's this group of people, I cannot tell you how incredible they are, called the Theta Babes, as we like to call ourselves, with one or two Theta Babe honoraries who are male. So it doesn't have to be a girl to be a Theta Babe. So it's my Tuesday night meetup group, who are all Theta healers that we get together and we share the love. In fact, every week we have to do something called the Awesome Report. And so my awesome report this weekend and today is that I have all of you. I feel so supported and so loved and so loved. That's the word. I feel loved. And so you've all reached out to me for my birthday. I have never had this many. Camera just went crazy. Tripod failure. I guess this is what happens when you go live. So this week I've had more people wish me happy birthday than I ever have in my entire life. I've had an incredible day. Lunch out, a pedicure, you name it, I've had it. So that's what happens when you work so hard, you need self-care on your birthday. But more importantly, here I am on my Facebook Live, which has become my favorite thing to do all week, with my second favorite being my Tuesday night Theta Share. So the opportunity to spend my birthday with all of you across the country just really rocks. And so it's really neat to know that there's people all the way from California to New York on every week watching, and we're sharing this information and we're sharing this energy. So I wanted to just send out a big fat hug and healing. So at the end, we're going to make sure that we send a little healing energy out to all of you who may be feeling feeling that they're not supported. So we're going to talk about feeling supported at the end. So, so thank you. That's my big thing. I asked and I received, and I've never seen this kind of outpouring before. So what do you need to ask for? Do you need someone to watch the kids? Do you need someone to help you take a break? Do you need, if you're starting to do some exercise, maybe you need a walking buddy. Maybe the things that you need to be able to say is, oh, you can't say that to me. That's not okay to say that to me. When you start feeling an energy, and maybe what they said is just a joke, but when they said it, it triggered something deep inside your heart. It has nothing to do with what they say, but it's not okay for them to say it to you. So I really want you to start working on being assertive rather than aggressive, because we can be nice, we can be kind, and we can be loving, and we can still get our point across. So that's the big message I have for tonight is, someone said, you know, I'm nice, and so therefore people walk all over me. And that's not necessary. When we start thinking about asking for things kindly, one of the key lessons I learned in a communication class a few years ago was, if you're starting a text or something where sometimes people can't see you face to face, maybe you say, I'm just curious and I'm okay with any answer. Because sometimes just asking something makes the person on the other end triggered. So, I'm just curious, are you available tonight? I know you might not be. Puts it in a tone where they have permission to say no. I'm just curious, no matter what the answer is, where is our relationship going? Another really important lesson is when you start into the assertive without being aggressive process, you can realize sometimes you've been the one that hurt someone's feelings. And so start your apologies strong with, please forgive me. That's way stronger than I'm sorry. We think of I'm sorry as a cop-out, but please forgive me says, I really do mean what I'm saying. Please forgive me. It's asking, it's very powerful. So please forgive me for, and then throw in what you are asking them to forgive you for, and say, please forgive me for this thing. So you're acknowledging exactly what you did, and then, or didn't do, and this sometimes is the case. Please forgive me for not being very good at all this technological stuff. Please help me finish getting all the web stuff done, or the scheduling done in my case. So I apologize for, reading that email too late at night, not responding fast enough. How can I make that up to you? Because I know it puts you late. So a lot of times the best way to work with an apology is also to say, how can I make it up? So that's a strong, assertive way to say an apology. Whereas when we're in the energy of I'm sorry, you're just like, yeah, I'm sorry. We've all heard it, and we're like, yeah, they're not sorry. So when we want to make a real apology, when we really want to take accountability, and that's one of the keys to a really successful person is accountability. It's the ability to ask for things. It's the ability to delegate. Even asking your kids things in the right way. So I did some fairy godmothering this weekend, and I was with my very favorite young lady, Samantha. Hi, Samantha. And the way I ask her things gives her opportunities to make choices. So instead of telling her what to do, or I ask her what she wants to do. We were talking with a mother of someone really young, like 4 years old this week. And she kept saying to me, I don't know what to do. I can't make her do this. I can't make her do that. And I said, why don't you ask her why? And she said, well, what she would say is, you're a bad mommy if you don't let me do that. And it broke my heart to hear that. And I knew it broke her heart as an empathic mother. And so ask them why. And then when they say something like, well, I want to do that and you're a bad mommy, and you would say, I'm not a bad mommy. I'm a good mommy because I'm not letting you eat that candy before dinner. I need to teach you to be able to eat all of your vegetables and then have candy as a reward. So you actually start, even though they're 4, you start being strong, and you start, explaining to them what it is. And you treat dogs, children, boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, friends, coworkers the same way, where you're strong, and very often you ask why. Why is such an important key word. Why do you feel that way? What did I do? What did you do? What is your emotions? So sometimes we feel neglected by someone. We have a friend, or maybe it's our partner, maybe it's a coworker who's been distant, or, isn't necessarily what we think they should be that day. Ask them why. It's extremely powerful to know why. Sometimes people will tell you. Sometimes they won't, but if you ask, you're giving care and consideration. So you're barking at them, and you're all up in your stuff, and they're barking at you, and they're all up in their stuff. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, why are we in this? What is going on? So, are you feeling overwhelmed, and they're feeling overwhelmed, and you're just clashing? That happens to a lot of us. So it's really important to find out if there's something you can do. One of my friends has a troll that she sits on her counter, and it's really close to the front door, and she'll turn the troll around if she's in a bad mood, and she'll put the butt side out to the front door. And so if her husband comes in, he's like, oh, she's in a trolley kind of mood. She's putting herself in the corner. So he knows to kind of give her a few minutes. And she's like, and usually she's like, by dinner I'm fine, but I need to not talk to anyone for just like 15 minutes. Because he comes in and he was like, hi, I love you. I want to talk to you. I want to hear about your day. And she's like, my day was horrible. They stressed me out at work, and I'm in a bad mood. So for them, it's even a nonverbal, where she realizes that sometimes she just needs space, and that the troll is a metaphor where she feels she's a troll, but she doesn't want to be rude to the person she cares about. So she's let him know where she's at. So I had a few questions sent to me this week, and I want to address at least one of them. And that first question is, what do we do? What do we do when somebody else just won't come in to the table on a kind way? And so this is where you have to adjust. And if it's a parent or your kid, or it's a coworker or something you really aren't going to be able to let go or change in your life, because apparently last week when I said that we were that we had to reevaluate our relationships, a lot of people came back to me and said, but what are we going to do when we don't have the choice of reevaluating the relationship? This is where you start getting assertive. And assertive, again, does not have to be mean, but I don't want you to be a doormat anymore. I want you to start reassessing what your needs are. You want to look at the universe and see if this is something that's repeated in your life. So if this happens in multiple places in your life, it may be what is called a universal assignment or a karmic lesson, but I think Gabriella Bernstein has it right when she calls it an assignment, where you actually have to learn how to deal with this thing that you can't get around. Well, one of the things that that is so powerful is a tool from Teal Swan where you actually look at how you would want to be treated in that same situation, and you treat yourself that way. You treat healing yourself, and you treat them the way you would want to be treated. So it's kind of a universal thing, but like, for example, if someone's barking at you, that seems to be the common one, which is actually part of the second question that I received. If someone is yelling at you, it is completely okay to say, I will not listen until you come into a voice that isn't yelling. And then they say, I'm not yelling, I'm just talking out loud, or I'm expressing myself. You can say, okay, well, I'm expressing myself that I don't do very well with yelling. You're hurting my feelings, or you're wrecking the atmosphere, and it's okay to walk away. It's really okay to say, for a few minutes, I'm just going to go over here. And I've done this where I've actually said, okay, we're going to get off this phone call. I know it's my stuff and your stuff on the same day, and we're just going to take a couple minutes. Maybe we can send each other an email. And I've actually done this with relationships, not just work situations, where sometimes it's easier to understand the person's perspective when it's written down. So text them or email them or blog about it and let them read it. But you have to be careful of that too, because we don't want to play the blame game. So we get back to that accountability we were talking about earlier, where you take your portion of the accountability and you say, this is what I feel like I've done, and this is how I feel about what's going on. And use feeling words, not accusing words. Really important, especially with children, to not say, you did this, oh, you're bad. Please, please, please never tell your children they're bad, even if it's a bad behavior, because your voice is going to be the voice that they hear in their head when they're all grown up. And for those of you who are sitting here and we're all grown up, we're thinking, yes, those programs that we are living with are the voices of our parents in our head. So how many of you have a program like, you must work hard for your money? Well, that was your parents and your grandparents' program, because I'm telling you, you don't have to work hard for your money. You can work hard for your money. You can earn your money. You can be of value, but you don't have to work hard for your money. There's lots of ways to make a good living that isn't hard work. That's not to say that good hard work can't be valued as well, but you don't have to. So we need to see and pull out of our brain the words that our parents repeated over and over and over. So, you're not good enough, or you're not worthy, or money is evil, or whatever your voice says, check and see. Did that come from your parents, your grandparents, a school teacher, someone? And then make sure that you're also not doing this to your children. This is how we break the chain. We are victims of victims, and we don't want to create more victims. We want to create amazing human beings that are going to help us with the changes that this world needs to have. So we are now earth angels. What earth angels are people who are here to bring and anchor the light into this land, into this earth plane. And we're getting so close to the tipping point. We are so close to being able to change everything for ourselves and for others. And I know some of you are out there saying, no, the world is worse than it's ever been. Well, have you ever seen a horror movie or a war movie? There's always the last stance before the good wins. Well, the evil that's in the world right now, I truly believe, is at its last stance. We're changing things, but we have to actively change things. We have to say, we're going to make the best of things. We're going to put out love. We're going to choose joy. We're going to choose our emotions, and that's going to be gentle, kinder, assertive. without being aggressive. Remember when you're talking, whether it's to your children, your coworkers, your partners, your friends, strangers even, that it takes a whole lot more to take a word back than it is to take a moment before you say it. So if you're upset, you're sad, you're angry, you're nervous, you just need to wait a second. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, think about what you're saying before you say it. Because sometimes we've all done it. I call it like the little mini inner devil or the voice inside your head that says, just say it. And you do. And you're like, I never wanted to say that to you. I wish I'd never said it. And it's like halfway out your mouth and you wish you'd never said it. So if you'd have taken a pause, it would have meant more to just say, okay, where is this coming from? This is my issues. Like a little self-reflection very often can bring about a much different resolution. So that's being still assertive, but not necessarily spewing out your negative emotions like a hot volcano or a boiling pot that boils over. You want to kind of really think about it. And I don't want to say bury your emotions. That's not at all what I'm talking about, because I still think you have to talk about them. I just think you have to talk about them with kindness. You have to talk about them with a gentleness and a kindness that says, I really want to come up with a solution. And if you can't come up with a solution, I'm going to come up with a solution for us and do our best to work in the environment without taking on your negativity. So this is Michelle Orwick, for those of you who are just joining us, and it's Michelle's Magical Mondays, and today was and is probably the most important day of my entire life, so thank you for joining me today. I come to you live from Orlando, Florida, and today, if you want to go see the beginning stages of my brand new website, it's michelleorwick.com, and thank you Howard and Janine for making that happen for me. And so if there's any questions that you want to have for next week, please send me some private messages. I love getting the feedback from all of you. I am so grateful for every single one of you. And I just want to end with a couple minutes of taking a deep breath and remembering to center before we speak, remembering to be gentle and loving and kind. And how do we do that? We formulate a pattern in our minds. So close your eyes for a second, take a deep breath, and I want to send some healing out to you right now. This is called a download or a theta healing energy, unconditional love energy send. So I just want you to accept the unconditional love and light and joy right into every cell of your body. I want you to feel as if a sparkly waterfall of white light is going from the top of your head all the way to the bottom of your toes, taking everything you're holding on to from other people, everything that you're holding on to for yourself, your fear, your worry, your anger at another person, and even worse, your shoulda, woulda, couldas for yourself. And I just want you to let it go and let the energy, that universal light and love, replace it with hope and optimism and joy and health. And I just want to have you accept that healing energy into your physical body, into your emotional body, into your communication skills. And as you accept that and feel that, I want to let you know, if you want to get some more in-depth meditations, the creator of the theta healing modality just put out a sound bite with some downloads and some meditations from her. So you could go to her website at viana@thetahealing.com, I think, or maybe it's on her Facebook, but you can actually get her meditations direct. That was a really awesome thing that came out this week. So I want to share that with you. And next week's really cool thing, I really want you to join me at 7 o'clock next week, because I am going to be introducing my meditation CD. So if you are interested in getting daily meditations, I'll be having that available for you as of next Monday. So thank you for sharing today. My day was magical. I want your day to be magical. I want your week to be magical. And I love you guys so unbelievably much. Please, please, please come back and see us again next week at 7 o'clock. And this is, again, one of the most important things I've ever done. So thank you for being here with me today live.